What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. So look, y'all, as y'all know by now, I like to have a lot of fun on this channel. As some of y'all can see on my live streams, when y'all get on live with me, when I'm talking crazy, cracking jokes, all type of stuff, having fun. And a lot of y'all can still see me having fun on regular videos that I make that involve my personal interests and things that I like to watch and all of that, right? But also I do like to have important, heavy, serious conversations on this channel from time to time, right? Things that are on my mind and on the mind of some of my subscribers, right? Um, so as some of you all know, many of you all know, I make a lot of content uh geared towards the upliftment of Black folks, right? I oftentimes, especially as of the last few years, I talk about the plight of Black American people. And I talk about certain things that's going on in the Black community, etc., and all those things. And with me doing that, I've had people comment and ask me about the diaspora wars that occurs between Black people in America and Black folks outside of America, right? And where the genesis between the conflict between Black people in America and Black folks, in other countries, where the genesis lies. Okay. Um, y'all know I'm only 31, right? So I'll be 32 soon, but I can't exactly pinpoint exactly when it started. I don't know if anybody really can. All I can do is show examples of why there has been a rift between Black folks in America and Black folks from other countries, etc. Right? But before I get to that, I want to say this first. I love all Black folks. You feel me? I love Black people, right? Generally, I love everybody. I really love everybody. You know what I'm saying? As long as you don't disrespect me, you don't disrespect my people, I love everybody. But I would say through me getting educated, going to college, becoming enlightened on certain things and seeing things firsthand, when I became to really, really understand the plight of Black folks. You feel me? Because you can be Black and really, you got to understand the plight of Black people. You can be Black and don't understand it for real. You know what I'm saying? And, when I became well read and understood how Black folks across different continents and different countries were treated, when I learned about historically how Black folks are perceived and how we're looked down upon and, things that we endured as a people, when I became knowledgeable of that, it made my love for Black folks become even more immense. Okay, way more immense when I understood certain things, right? And so, yeah, I started to, again, when you get older and I have two children of my own, when you're operating in society, in corporate America, etc., when you're walking outside in your everyday life and going different places, traveling, you understand how Black folks are treated and all of that. And yeah, you're like, nah, you push back against it. But yeah, I will say this. Because when we talk about the genesis of the diaspora wars, we've seen, a lot of diaspora wars on social media, on YouTube and all of that. And people are asking where the genesis lies. So I would say this, man. When I got to, because I'm from Chicago, born and raised, Southside Chicago, Illinois. I didn't go to school with many like Caribbean kids and African kids. Most of the kids I went to school with were Black Americans. When I say most, I'm talking about 98%. And I went to good schools and it was still majority Black, 98% Black in these good schools that had a great curriculum and all of that, right? But when I got to college, and that's when I started being around Black folks from different countries and different continents, etc. And you started to notice, not even just know, I can even say going to different, certain restaurants and all that type of stuff and seeing my parents' interactions with Black immigrants and all of that at times, you would get this feeling that there were some Black immigrants who looked down upon Black Americans, who looked at us as if we were degenerates, lazy degenerates. And then when I got to college, I heard some black immigrants say this out of their own mouths. And then you're like, whoa, wait a minute, right? And so when you have black immigrants taking up the ideologies of the oppressor, taking up, and it's not all, because I don't never speak in absolutes. I don't speak in, yeah, oh, it's everybody, right? But when you have some black immigrants assimilating to the beliefs and the narratives of the dominant society, of, of anti-black racist white folks, when you have them spewing some of the same rhetoric, it will cause friction. And I want to say this too, because when African children, were going to school with black Americans, they speak about their time being called African booty scratchers, being teased, etc. And then that led to disdain as well, the teasing and the jokes and all of that for being African and having African names and all of that, which is wrong as well, right? That is wrong, but when kids young, they do a lot of vile type teasing and things like that. And as you get older, you know better. You know what I mean? When you understand, what it means to be black, you know better than to do that, right? But fast forward to what I was saying. So I get to college and I'm seeing, black folks from the Caribbean, some black folks from Nigeria talk about black folks, especially black American men, like we were lazy and, like we just didn't work hard enough to get certain things. It created disdain. And I'm not the only person who experienced this type of thing. I remember my homie Derek Jones, who I often speak about on his channel. He has a PhD in mathematics. Derek Jones is from the Mississippi Delta, a small town called Midnight, Mississippi. Ended up moving to Belzoni, but he's from Midnight, right? And Derek, a math major. That is STEM, that is super hard. And he was in these majors with kids from Nigeria, from the Caribbean, Bahamas, etc. And he himself, Derek, is a really humble brother, really great spirited brother. I'm gonna have him on the channel. He would notice how some of the black immigrant students had this disposition that they were, above the black American people at times, right? And to the point where if my boy Derek was performing better than them, it would piss them off, as if like, how dare he be performing better than me. Even Derek even told a time where one of these individuals, like they were in class and, it was after class and my boy Derek was taking down some notes and stuff that the teacher had written on the board. We were in college at the time, right? And one of the individuals, African brother, tried to hurry up and erase the math problem off the board so my boy Derek wouldn't get the homework and perform well, like so he can have a chance, so he could basically miss the homework assignment. Trying to hurry up and erase it off the board so Derek would not be able to do the assignment, perform well, and stay at the top of the class. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. And so when you have these interactions between black folks and black American people and black immigrants, it causes disdain. Because a lot of times, again, there were black immigrants who came here, and I think, and I could be wrong, a lot of them again took up the ideologies the ideologies and the mindset of anti-black racists out of fear that, we gotta assimilate or we gonna be kicked up out of here. Right? We have to assimilate to whatever the dominant society says. And they just started to assimilate into a lot of the beliefs that a lot of white supremacists had about black folks and started to regurgitate that, which made black Americans and black immigrants bump heads. And I've seen even in music. What's the dude named Pressa? Canada has a lot of black immigrants from like the Caribbean, etc. A dude named Pressa, he was dating Coi Leray. And he went on a rant talking about how black folks don't got no culture. I've heard a lot of black immigrants talk about black folks. They don't even got no culture. They ain't got no culture. And then you like, yo, but you are dressing like black American men, talking using black American slang, putting on black American head wraps and all that. Like, you know what I mean? Like listening to black American music, and then you're saying we don't have any culture. What do you mean by that? That just sounds crazy. So yeah, when you couple all those things together, it causes black folks to bump heads with other black folks in the diaspora, black American people to bump heads with other black folks in the diaspora. And so, and that's something that we have to improve as black people. We do have to come together. We do have to love each other. Because as we see in this world, black folks ain't got friends for real. You know what I'm saying? So, not enough. We don't got enough friends for real that'll stop a lot of the oppression that we've been enduring for years. We don't have enough. So it has to stop and it has to end. But I did want to speak on those things and where the genesis of it comes from. And so, because people talk about xenophobia and all that type of stuff. And again, I love all black folks for real. But, I want to talk about some of these things that happen because I've noticed that, like I've spoke about it on my channel where it's a lot of black immigrants who come to America and then trash and belittle black Americans and act like we next to nothing. They look at us like nothing but troublemakers when we push back against certain things. And it starts with like their grandparents and stuff looking at us like, yo, you don't be like them black Americans. You be grateful that you're here because they've escaped certain conditions in their country and they're grateful to be Americans from, escaping certain poverty-stricken situations in their own countries or certain other despair that they were facing in their country. And so they like, yo, we can't be like them. We got to show that we grateful to be here. We have to we can't be deemed as troublemakers. So a lot of them conform to the ideologies of white supremacists, of anti-black racists. They conform to those ideologies out of fear of so they conform to those ideologies because they don't want to be looked at as like troublemakers. They want to fit in. You know what I mean? Because if they feel like if they get to assimilate into our beliefs, they will be looked at as troublemakers. And, and looked at like, yo, why are y'all even here? That type of thing. You know what I mean? But even then, though, I come to think about it, in certain places, a lot of black immigrants, they face a lot of colorism in their home countries. You feel me? It's black immigrants who face colorism in their home countries. You know what I mean? So I can't just say it's just based upon them coming to America and out of fear of being, deported or something like that, they start just, assimilating to the beliefs of anti-black racists or whatever. I can't just put it on that too, because some black immigrants face certain type of colorism stuff back home, But with me saying all of that, we as black people do got to come together and love on each other and stop a lot of the BS that's been going on. But I do want to say the stuff that people, the diaspora wars, especially as it pertains to black Americans, it come from, black Americans feeling like slighted and disrespected by black immigrants, again, looking at us like we nothing but lazy degenerates when black Americans laid the foundation for black immigrants to come to the United States of America. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, I do believe we got to improve on these relations with each other and bond and grow and learn and talk to each other for sure. But I do want to speak on the genesis of that. And now that with me speaking on the genesis, we have to improve how we view each other, the perceptions, how we talk to each other, how we handle each other, how we understand each other and understand our plights. You feel me? So that we can grow and move past that.